Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. Brian Winnekins from Commodity Classic. Thank you to our Commodity Classic sponsors, including Elsivia Co-op, Compeer Financial, Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, and Annabis Silo. I'm with Brent Wink. He's with Winfield United. We talked with Brent during the Chippewa Valley Ag Conference, but he's also here with Wisconsin Corn Growers and is also here at Commodity Classic. So we thought we want to kind of do a little bit of an update on some of the things we talked about from the Ag Conference as we get ready for spring planting. And so, Brent, as farmers are navigating a very difficult economy, and we talked with Zach here a little bit earlier. He said, geez, as a seed dealer, we've seen a lot of less prepays because of the economy. So what are some of the things farmers need to kind of look at as they make these decisions for spring?
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Brian. The beautiful part is I'm down here at Commodity Classic under a completely different role than the last time we talked. I'm here as a member of the Wisconsin Corn Growers Board, and I am a grower. In our family, we farm, and so I've got the luxury to see both sides. I've got the luxury to see it from a grower's point of view, and then certainly we're a larger input supplier on the retail side. And just when I come to events like this, or just in your day job, it still boils down to, from the grower's perspective, you have yield, you have the price, and you have profit or lack thereof. And quite honestly, the only two equations we can control as a grower, obviously the yield, and then the price we don't have a ton of control over, but profit or lack thereof. So some of the coolest things I see when it come down to these types of things is just the opportunities to keep up on the yield side. And that's really what it's about, to try to keep up on the yield side at an economic way that makes sense on our operation. But as growers, we have become really, really good at growing crops. And so the worst thing you can do is, hey, we've got huge crops. The prices aren't where we want them. Well, you still got to make sure that you grow as much as you possibly can economically to give yourself the best chance. So a lot of great companies down here. There's a lot of great opportunities, and I love seeing all of those, and that's what makes ag so great.
Is that the hard part, though, for a corn grower or soybean grower, really any farmer? Yeah, okay, I can have that 180 bushels an acre, but I'm going to lose $20 a bushel. Maybe it's better to do 150 and potentially break even. Is that the decision you got to make?
It certainly is. And that was what I said, the profit piece at the end. So if growing the extra 20 bushel makes the number a bigger red number, then certainly you don't go after that extra 20 bushel. Sometimes where I see the problem can arise is the grower that decides, I'm going to save my way to freedom. And right now, for instance, there's a lot of conversation around biologicals or a lot of different products. And you know what? There's a lot of great products. So I don't want to belittle that. But sometimes it's a space that isn't really, patrolled a lot. And well, if you decrease these other expenses and use my product, it's going to give you those yields. So you got to really be selective in maybe what you do cut out of your operation, or maybe some of these other products that you're going to try to make more yield with. So a lot of tough parts. I really like to stress to people, look for repeatability. When you are trying to make some of those decisions, the things that are maybe supported by the industry, they're supported by university, they're supported by farmers, and it's got really good return on investment at economic level. So absolutely, this all has to be done from a profit standpoint, and we've got a couple of years where it's going to be a little bit of a challenge.
Finally, Brent, before we let you go, as a farmer, you come down to Commodity Classic. What's your goal when you come down here? What would you like to learn to take home back to the farm in Wisconsin?
Yeah, so I came down with Wisconsin Corn Growers, and to be able to see what we do at Corn Congress and at the National Corn Growers level. So my answer is a little bit different. My advice is that as growers, we all have to become more involved in the political side to support your local state corn growers, your national corn growers, the networking, the opportunities for our voice to be heard, and to maybe come up with alternative solutions for our crops. and to be part of that. So that's the part that I've been most excited about, is to be able to just be a small part of that and dealing with Wisconsin corn growers and at the national corn growers level.
That's Brent Wink, a Wisconsin corn grower, and here at Commodity Classic, this is the WRDN Morning Farm Report.